Please don't be raining. Perfect.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Good morning, Boise State fans. It's a new week. It's a new season for the Boise State football team, and we are live at LeanFeast Meridian here at U-Stick and Eagle Road. And, man, this is going to be a lot of fun. The only problem is we got to keep Mike Prater and myself away from the food. Love LeanFeast. Both of us are having the meals here. We're going to tell you all about our friends at LeanFeast. And I forgot to tell our fine folks working back here, Dave, I'll let you know now. I did throw it out on social media, Mike Prater, that anybody that stopped by today, I'd buy them a meal. So nice. Hopefully a couple people will take us up on it. Get the tab started. If you're in the area, we'll be here for the next 45 minutes or so. They're in the back working hard, getting the food ready. And you can see the line here. You got breakfast. Want to come have breakfast? Come have breakfast. We got Jaden over here. We're putting in some good work, and now he's helping chow down on some breakfast. But Mike, I know LeanFeast, Mike Prater with me for a Monday morning edition of Bronco Nation News Live. I know I got you going, and I know you're a big LeanFeast guy.
I love LeanFeast, and the product that they do and the service that they have is pretty unique in this valley, and it works for me. And it does. Maybe it doesn't work for everybody, but with the delivery service, and I just live right down the street, I can pop in if I need to as well. Lots of variety, lots of differences. I can get steak, I can get chicken, I can get shrimp. I can get all kinds of stuff. And I know we're going to talk about the relationship with Boise State. Dave's got a pretty cool thing brewing, and I'm a big LeanFeast guy. The first day of fall camp, the first day of the football season, BJ, you wake up and you want to get a little bit more lean. This is the perfect way to start the football season.
Oh, I had a bad summer, man, going to all-inclusives in Mexico and everything else. So I'm having my fall camp here this month as well to see what we can. And it definitely have been ordering the LeanFeast. And so our man Derek asked me if I was hungry. Ended up making me some breakfast right here. You saw some of the other meals in the cooler right there. And then you know what? I figured why not? Might as well give it a try there. Had some egg bites, some sausage. It was a great breakfast. Nobody needs to see me eat, though. Let's bring it in live here. Here we are, Mike Prater, BJ Rains. We are live at LeanFeast in Meridian. Again, U-Stick and Eagle Road. Let us know. Make sure you can hear us okay, see us okay, and we're having fun. Dave, the owner, is going to join us here in a little bit, and we're going to talk football, talk fall camp, talk Spencer Danielson. And we were looking at the cooler over here. You saw in the video, Mike Prater, that they were putting some to-go orders in the cooler. They got about 50 meals over there for the basketball team getting ready to go out.
Unless I get them first. But, yeah, that's a lot of food for a lot of basketball players. And, again, we're going to dive deep into this relationship with Boise State. It's pretty cool what Dave's got brewing.
Yeah, they're in the back getting the meals ready right now. They are open, so breakfast, lunch, dinner. Our family loves it, man. 2 minutes in the microwave. You're eating steak, shrimp, chicken, whatever you said. I think they said there's like 10,000 different combinations. And the best part is it's fresh. It's not those frozen meals that you see on Facebook where you can't customize it or change it. It's all 100% fresh, and we love it. And, yeah, it's going to be the sole reason. Hopefully we can lose a couple pounds here in the next month or so. And let's see, Andrew Shelley says looks and sounds good here in Southeast Texas. So appreciate you for joining us from Texas. You're missing out, Andrew. This is good stuff back here. But Mike, a lot going on. Obviously, we have report date tomorrow, the first practice on Wednesday. But today, finally, we get the, I guess, media day, so to speak, if you want to call it. Spencer Danielson, who we all just talked to, and we'll see if there's anything new that comes out of what he talks about. But more importantly, we do get a little time with some of the assistant coaches as well. But officially, football season, I think, starts today with the coaches being made available to the media starting around 11:30.
Yeah, no, I think it's done. It's here. And football season, we're diving in hard. 11 different press conferences, all kind of in groups and gathering, and we're going to all be kind of jockeying for our 5-10 minutes with each one of these coaches. So it's pretty cool to be able to get Spencer talk about the summer, talk about. I did my homework last night. This is my depth chart. 115 players on this football team. You got 55 on defense, 55 on offense, 54 on defense, and 6 special teamers. It's my own little special seating chart.
I was going to say, man, you better call it call it what it is. Don't get Spencer Danielson mad at you on day one. Seating chart.
I know that they say depth charts are not supposed to put depth charts out there, so I call it my seating chart, and I put it together myself. But I'm fired up and excited for this football team. There's been a lot of summer changes, a lot of names that have come up on here. I can't wait to tell some stories like Cooper Jones, the Utah State guy that's coming in and maybe making an impact. He might be one of the last guys that's been added to this team that can make some kind of an impact. So those kinds of stories are lurking all week long. We're going to be on the field about 9:50 on Wednesday. Looking forward to that practice, and then we're off and running. I almost called you ball game.
That's all right. I'd like to think, that Spencer Danielson and his media-friendly policies here push the start of spring practice or fall camp practices back to 9:50 so we can still do our show at 9 o'clock. But I think we'll be probably out in the parking lot maybe most days doing the show and then going right in to watch practice. And Johnny and I already talked to Johnny and confirmed we'll be out in the parking lot and maybe get some guys in the background walking into practice. And then they can't keep us – we can't get in there till 9:50. They can't kick us out of the parking lot. So we'll see who we see walking in on the first day, and we're looking forward to that. But for now, we're going to keep the shows at 9 a.m. moving forward. It sounds like they're going to work practice schedule-wise with practices getting underway around 9:50. But that is one of the changes this year, Mike. I guess not a big change from spring, but a change going into fall camp here. Spencer Danielson, every fall camp practice from starting on Wednesday to literally, which I was a little surprised with, like the Saturday before game week. Then even during game week, 2 full days, Tuesday and Wednesday, every game week are 100% open to the media. Now, we do have some stipulations, and which I think are more than fair in terms of game plan stuff, not, injured guys, not trying to give away the game plan, so to speak, to the other team. But I overlapped 1 year with Chris Peterson. Chris Peterson, 2013 was my first year here. In the fall, it was pretty wide open. The first couple weeks or in the spring, it was pretty wide open. First week or two of fall camp there, but then they really started to tighten it down. We obviously know with Harsin and Avalos, it was 15 minutes here and there. It was, it's an open practice today, but it's periods 3 through 5, and it was kickoffs and, punt return or whatever. Yep. In the spring, we saw it, and I know I'm rambling, but Spencer Danielson opened things up. I think it was kind of a test run. Luckily, none of us in the media screwed that part of it up, and he's opening every single fall camp practice, which I think is great for us, but also in turn is great for the listeners on KTIK and viewers here on BNN.
Absolutely. I mean, full on access, and we do appreciate that. And it's been a part of an ongoing process. And I know we've had some meetings where we kind of just sit and talk and with Spencer and the football staff and try to hammer out our requests and our details, and he's been very accommodating to that. So, maybe one day we can get those Monday practices open as well, but I get it. And the full access all those other times, and then certainly the full access today and everything else that we got going on in fall camp and during the season. So I think it's a pretty cool deal, and can't wait to bring a million stories to you guys, whether it's on the radio, on this show, through columns, through the written word, through the spoken word, whatever it is. It's going to be a phenomenal football season. I cannot wait.
At the risk of screwing up our camera here, you can see we have folks in here picking up their to-go orders right now, Mike Prater. So there's Jaden having his breakfast. There's another happy customer heading out with his meal from LeanFeast here. So I probably just screwed this up for us in terms of being level there for the rest of the show. I'll see what we can do here. But and again, I know a lot of times people see it as like the media complaining or bitching, Mike, but it's not about us. I mean, do we really want to sit out there for a 3-hour practice? Like, not really. But when it comes down to it, like, we're going to have a better idea of what, and it's not even just the starters. For me, it's the 2s and 3s that we may see later in the season, and some of those younger guys that we would never know to ask about or never see. And I do think you get to tell a lot more stories when you're able to see more.
Absolutely. And in some cases, it is about the starters. I mean, I was looking at building the seating chart last night. I mean, there's a lot of positions here that still haven't been decided. Obviously, it starts with the quarterback. I don't think we're ever going to get to the wide receiver. I think that's going to be more by committee. We certainly have an offensive lineman we have to look at and a couple of other spots. I cannot wait to see how the cornerback situation turns out. That's going to be fascinating. Those rotations. You can even watch small rotations in terms of how they're doing it in practice and drills and kind of get an idea. And it will evolve throughout the entire month of August until that 31st when they kick off against Georgia Southern. But today, I cannot wait. I don't know where you're going to go, but I'm going to hustle and elbow my way into 5-10 minutes with Dirk Cutter and try to catch up on the quarterback situation. I think everybody wants to know what kind of situation he's walking into in the fall after a summer of golfing in McCall, but certainly a spring working with these quarterbacks and then working with these guys throughout the rest of the summer. Today, it's going to dive in, and the quarterback thing becomes very, very real.
And I know that's, I don't know if fatigue's the right word, but I mean, it is. There's no way around it. As much as you want to try to find some other storylines, and there are other storylines on this team, I think I said this with you guys on Friday. Like, there's been some quarterback battles that I don't think were really quarterback battles. This is as 50-50 as I can remember them. And you go way back further covering this team, being around this town than I do. But in my 13 years here, this is by far, I think, the most actual fair 50-50 combo, regardless of what coaches say, that we've seen in a while.
Oh, yeah. I mean, over the last, it's ever since, Rippon to Bachmeier. I mean, the quarterback chaos at Boise State's been so crazy the last 5, 6, 7 years. It's all become very blurry. But I'll go back to like the Cutter days, Nate Sparks and Bart Hendricks in 98 and 99, and the juggling back and forth. And eventually Bart just blew that competition away. But there was a time where Nate Sparks was maybe the 49 guy and Bart Hendricks was the 51 guy. And maybe that changed on Tuesday as opposed to Thursday. So Dirk Cutter was in the middle of that. The one thing that I've learned over the years about Dirk Cutter that he relies on, not more than anything else, because for him it's about the prep and stuff, but he also dives deep into the gut instinct thing, and he believes in it, and he feels it, and he trusts himself, and it usually kind of works. So, not only is he going to have hardcore evidence over the next month in terms of the quarterback spot, at the end of the day, he's just going to be able to look at it and come up with this feeling, coming up with this expertise and this gut feeling, and make some decisions on the quarterback. I still believe it's going to be Maddox Madsen for the first game. And the ceiling and the long-term future, obviously, is Malachi Nelson, but I'm going to change probably tomorrow.
And I do want to see Wednesday what kind of progress Malachi Nelson's made, because I thought in spring practice it was not just, media, fluff, whatever. I really thought he made a ton of improvements and again, I don't even know what I'm looking at most of the time, but just some of the throws and then we saw it in the spring game as well. But even like the last Thursday practice or something we got to watch, I was in the back of the end zone and there was a throw that I thought was going to hit me and a receiver came coming across the middle that I didn't even see, and he made a perfect throw. I mean, I thought his progress during spring was very evident. I thought the first couple of practices, he just frankly wasn't good, looked nervous, looked rusty, whatever you want to say, and I thought he got better. So if he was able to continue to make that progress over the summer, in the summer workouts and the PFPs and all that, player run practices, PRPs, his growth over the summer and where he was compared to the last day of spring, I think is going to say a lot about this competition.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, the growth over the summer should be massive. I mean, with all the stuff you just talked about. So, it'll be really interesting to see where he is on Wednesday. To me, I'm not smart enough to be able to figure out that he got better here, he got better there just throughout the summer, but just in terms of the rotation, how Dirk Cutter's using him, how the offense is using him, and all that kind of stuff. So I would imagine the first 10 days of practice, we're going to see a lot of back and forth. Mm-hmm. At one point, Dirk Cutter is going to have to make a hardcore decision, and I don't know if it's game week, I don't know if it's halfway through camp, or maybe it's not at all. Maybe this guy's thinking completely different, but at some point, I think he's going to have to name a starter in his head, and they're going to have to figure that out and then get him ready for August 31st.
Spencer Danielson talking at 11:30 today. We'll stream that live on Bronco Nation News, so make sure you come back 11:30. Help us get to 5,000 YouTube subscribers, by the way. We're about 65 away, so help us. We're going to have the debut tomorrow night. They did some kind of fun shows in the spring, but the official debut, Mike Prater, Kent Riddle, and Riley Smith. Riley and Rid, they are back for a full season every Tuesday. And I said, hey, Johnny and Sanford, they're like, oh, let's start a week before the first game. game. They don't want to, they're kind of slacking off a little bit. Riley and Rid were like, no, fall camp starts Wednesday. We're doing a show Tuesday night to preview it. So nice to have at least one extra show with some hard workers out there wanting to get it going. But tomorrow night, 8:00, Riley and Rid, and it's actually going to be on location from the James Kitchen and Bar there downtown. So Riley and Rid will sit out on the patio. I think Brad Bedell may stop by, some other guys. So I'm actually enjoying Mike for once, and I won't be on camera. So I may be in the back setting all this up and then enjoying a libation or two while they can talk Boise State football and deal with all the technical stuff going on. But anyway, I say that because those shows are going to be exclusively on YouTube, Riley and Rid and the Sanford and Johnny show. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on X right now or on Facebook, we ask you to switch over to YouTube and make that your permanent home for all these videos. And that's where a lot of our shows will be moving forward. And again, we're about 65 away from 5,000. So we would love to get 5,000 subscribers before we take before the Broncos take the practice field and we take the field ourselves to watch on Wednesday. Okay, they are giving us, again, Spencer Danielson, 11:30 on the YouTube channel. I believe it's about 30 minutes with him. And then it is kind of a condensed time with the coaches. Hard to complain when, I did, originally we were going to get no coaches. I asked, hey, any chance we can get some coaches? Hard to complain, but it is only 20 minutes with the offensive staff, 20 minutes with the defensive staff. So it's got to be a quick hitters. He just said 5 minutes, but okay. Dirk Cutter is the obvious one. Where are you going next?
Ooh, where we're going next? Let's go straight to the cornerback room and talk about Devon Banks and where he fits in. Let's talk about Irby and the progress that he's made. Let's talk about Markel Reed, and let's talk about what's going on when they're with those guys. I mean, the cornerback room is unbelievable. And Warren is he's kind of a, if there is a coach on this staff who's on the hot seat, that's probably a little bit of a stretch. But I know you and I've talked about him. There's certain things that he's done that really hasn't endeared to me. I think this is a big year for Warren. He doesn't have to deal with any special team stuff. He can literally focus on cornerbacks. I think he's got 4 to fit into 2 spots, and certainly some depth to figure out. The mission is very clear. The mission is very easy. He's got to figure out who it is, and I cannot wait to see this Devon Banks and what he fits in.
Yeah, not only does he doesn't have to worry about the special teams, he also has a room that has some pretty good players and should be pretty good. I mean, they bring in the 2 Pac-12 transfers, and I don't know what we're going to call them moving forward. There's no Pac. I guess they're still coming from that league, but I just got the 2 guys from for a league that no longer exists. I guess there has 2 teams in it, but we all assume Omarion McCoy is a starter. With what I saw from Irby, I guess Banks is coming in as a backup, but to me, did he have no other I know it was late in the process, but he was injured a lot last year. I get it. But for a guy that started last season and had a really good game against Boise State, and to be a guy who played on, starter on Washington's team before the injury, I personally can't imagine. I know the coaches don't promise you anything in the recruiting process, but he must really love, the James or LeanFeast or whatever. I don't know all of our great sponsors here, but that was a little bit of surprising to me that he was willing to, come in where there's not a clear spot that he was going to be the starter.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And again, that's the whole goal of today, is to try to figure that out and where he fits in. Markel Reed's probably the odd man out here if you go into a 3-man rotation. You can't, cornerback is not like the offensive line or the defensive line where you can rotate in and out. I think you got to stick with 2, come up with a 3rd guy, and certainly have some depth in case something happens back there. But it's not like you're rotating these guys back and forth. And usually when you go to an extended package like a dime or a nickel package, you're going to bring in one of these other safeties, which is a room that's completely loaded. There's 5 or 6 options there. So, one of the biggest issues of this football team going into the offseason was that pass defense, the back half of this defense. Boise State's done a phenomenal job on paper of shoring that up. I cannot wait to see how it breaks out in camp.
Do we see any real battle at right tackle, or is that just going to be Hall Schmidt?
Well, Cox, I think Cox was the leader, if I remember right.
Got hurt, right?
Yeah, and then he got hurt for the first 10 days of fall camp. He was the guy that, from my recollection, that was getting a lot of those number 1 reps. He got hurt. Hall Schmidt certainly got his opportunity and then took off, and they couldn't stop talking about him. So I would imagine, without knowing anything about Cox's injury, that Schmidt's the leader in the clubhouse, and I would expect to see him with the ones on Wednesday.
Any other position battles you got your eyes on, whether it be today with coaches or Wednesday at the first practice? There's not a lot else out there. I still am intrigued by the wide receiver group. We talked about this on Idaho Sports Talk on Friday. I'm going straight to see Cam Camper and Chris Marshall and how those guys have developed. I think that's going to be a very intriguing spot in camp. I'm curious. I know it's not a sexy thing to talk about, but behind Matt Lauder, what does the tight end group look like? And are those guys ready to are they just going to be a blocking group because you have all the receiving tight end or receiving receivers that you need? It's not like you're going to be leaning on the tight ends in the pass game. I don't think a ton with what you have at receiver, but what is that group? I know Matt Wagner and some of those guys look pretty good behind Matt Lauder during fall camp. And so I'll be looking a little bit at the tight ends, the O-line position there. And then, we haven't even mentioned his name yet, probably a record 21 minutes into the show here, but Ashton Genty, I think that we all expect him to get very limited work this fall. I mean, I think that's a storyline, keeping him in bubble wrap and making sure he's out. I mean, there's going to be some practices where they may just give him he's got to get his work in. It's not like he's not going to practice from now. I mean, he's got to get better. He's got to be out there. It's not like he's just not going to practice for a month, but we are going to see a lot of Sire Gaines and a lot of Breezy Dubar, and I'm curious to watch that battle.
I don't play the video game, but somebody was telling me the other day, I think it was while I was on the golf course hobnobbing yesterday, somebody told me that Sire Gaines is better at the video game than Breezy Dubar, that he's the better running back in this deal.
I'll have to ask my kid to go look it up while we're talking here.
So, maybe there's some people out there that have played that game and have had that same experience. I found that to be very interesting. I'm also going to go straight to the linebacker situation, and I don't want to say terrified, but I'm really worried about Marco Notriani. I loved watching him play last year. He was one of my favorite players, and he was just a shell of himself in the spring because of injuries. He didn't even look like he was good walking when he was walking back and forth between rehab. And here comes Jake Ripp, just rising out of the ashes and catching the attention of coaches. So I think that's a fascinating battle. And Jake Ripp's going to have a fine future here, according to the coaches. But I think Boise State needs Marco Notriani, and I cannot wait to see. Is he out there healthy? Is he still going to be phased in? What's going to happen there? There's 4 good linebackers. There's not a lot of great depth at linebacker for 2 spots. You got some superstars and guys like Andrew Simpson, but Marco Notriani to me is a big one.
Well, I'll stay on the D-line too. I think that's a group that kind of gets, I don't want to say overlooked, but it doesn't get a lot of the talk when it comes to this team and some of the players. And obviously you have Hassanin on one side. I think the emergence or consistent play of, a Jaden Virgin Morgan is going to be very important to this team. But, behind them, behind those two in terms of getting some pressure on the quarterback. And then inside of the tackle spot as well, you have Herbert Gums, you have Michael Callahan, both back, Braxton Feely, some of those guys in the middle there. But overall, how you feeling about the D-line?
I think it's pretty good. And I think the depth is pretty good. We talked at the top of the show about, rotation, and they're going to need 2 lines to rotate in and out. I think that they're pretty good. I mean, Hassanin, obviously, like you said, a LeanFeast guy. I expect him to walk in any day and grab all those food. Is it going to be Weegis or Woodard, kind of behind him? And then you got Newton and Gums. That's going to be a nice little rotation. Then you got Feely and Callahan. That's going to be a nice little rotation. Then Virgin Morgan and Gabe Hunter after that. Yeah. So I think that there is, I can sit here on paper based on what we saw in spring camp, based on what we saw last year, plug in at least 2 guys at every single position, and maybe even some of them. There might even be 2 or 3 deep behind Ahmed Hassanin. Not that he's going to need a lot of help. I want to see that guy on the field all day long, every day. But I like the depth there. I like the possibilities there, and I cannot wait to see what these guys do.
Special teams-wise, Stacey Collins comes in. I do think that's, again, another part of the game that for the most part is not super sexy to talk about. But I think that Jonah Dalmas and James Ferguson Reynolds have made it a little more acceptable to talk special teams, at least this season around Boise State football. But I'm, both those guys are fine. They're good. I'm not worried about them. My attention, at least early in camp, is going to be more on the return game. And we've heard a lot from how the aggressive style that a Stacey Collins is going to have, and they were one of the fewest returns in the nation last year for Boise State on punt and kick returns. They're going to be more aggressive. They're going to return some of these kicks. Who do you think is going to be back there? Who do you want to see back there in the return game?
Ashton Jenney, which I know is dumb, but I want him on the field as much as possible selfishly. And he took a lot of reps in fall camp or spring camp. So I'm not sure if that was just to kind of satisfy him, because he's going to need that in his weapon as he goes into the NFL cycle after this football season. But they also had Caples. They also had Penry. Here comes the Utah State transfer and Cooper Jones, who was a heck of a receiver or returner for Utah State last year. So I think there's 4 kick return guys that are in the mix based on what we saw in March and April. Now, in terms of kickoff return, I'm not sure what they got going on there. I didn't really see a consensus with the kickoff return for Boise State. So I still have TBD on my. It's the only position I have TBD on my entire depth chart. So
was Latrell Caples back there some before he got hurt the previous year? Yeah,
I had Caples, Penry, and Genty were very, very active back there in the spring.
Yeah, I think Caples would be a guy that I'd be intrigued to see back there. So I think Caden Dudley at times was back there on the kick return last year. So that's sometimes a chance to get one of your speedier guys that, not to say he's not valuable to the team, but if there's a guy that's just as fast or whatever, that maybe it's not, and you're not losing that much, maybe it's not worth an Ashton Genty or something if you can have a Caden Dudley back there. Nothing against Caden Dudley.
No, and Caden Dudley, so at least one coach I remember talking about him as being one of the most quote-unquote explosive guys on this football team. So in terms of just the dynamic package and the speed and what he can bring, Caden Dudley seems like he would be a no-brainer back there.
Clint wants to see Sire Gaines back there returning.
There you go.
Chase Penry's getting some love as well. I think he was back in the punt return game a little bit last year. Was Penry back there before he got hurt? So a lot of questions, a lot of storylines. We'll get back to that. I want to bring in Dave here in just a second, the owner of this fine establishment, but and talk about NIL game and a lot of this stuff going on. But first, I want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Our studio sponsor is Cutwater Spirits. We want to thank them as well as our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Andy Rowe and company, always appreciate what Andy's doing for us. And so make sure you check out our friends at, there's your hit mic there. Check out our friends at Rowe Painting, rowpaint.com, Andy Rowe, and we appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News as well. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU, there's a branch pretty much on every corner, but of course, you know where the easiest one is, right there in your pocket on your mobile phone on the app. So check it out, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. And episode 2 coming up soon of the Tyson Degenhart Show. The gentleman we're going to talk to in a second knows Tyson very well. Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. Check him out, the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. And again, saw firsthand when he helped us buy and sell our home just how easy the process he made it and just why exactly he is ranked #1 year after year after year. So check it out, Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com. And Ridley's Family Markets, 14 locations in the state of Idaho, the surrounding states. If you're heading up to McCall for the weekend here before school gets going, you can check out their location right there in town. They got the Kuna location. They got some Magic Valley locations as well. So check out our friends at Ridley's Family Markets. And again, download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. And again, that's shopridleys.com. All right, we bring in our man, Dave. I'm going to unmute your mic there.
What's happening?
How you doing, man? Appreciate you. Good. We saw you back there serving some meals. You're working. I mean, this isn't one of those owners, Mike Prater, that he just signs the paychecks and collects the income and just kind of says, "See you later." He's back here making the meals and everything himself.
Oh yeah, I do pretty much everything. Not every day. We got a great team, but but yeah, when I got to do the work or anyone goes on vacation or that kind of stuff, I'm here and I'm always here, keeping people happy and serving meals and smiling and kissing babies.
I love your relationship with Boise State, and I know this is a new growing business. And when you came in and had this beautiful tool down the street in terms of Boise State, we've talked about 3 or 4 athletes you've already worked with on a regular basis, and I'm anxious for you to describe that. But why was it important for you to get into this working relationship with Boise State?
Well, I think that the product that we offer is a perfect fit for the athletes.
You mean good, healthy food?
Yeah, exactly. We always say food is fuel, right? And the more of the players that we can feed, the better they're going to perform. And we noticed that the top end players really are interested in eating food that's good for them to fuel their journey to hopefully the next level.
And you just signed in the last couple of weeks, Ahmed Hassanin. I know he's a former African national champion, CrossFit champion. You're a CrossFit guy. So outside of the CrossFit community and that kind of deal, why Ahmed?
He's just a really nice kid and he loves our food. That's a big thing for me, right? We've had a few conversations with a few other athletes over time and they're like, I don't know if I want to eat that healthy, which I always think is funny. You're in the game to get to the next level and the fuel is what's going to get you there. But he approached me. He was just a huge fan. And we provide a bunch of meals to the team every week or two. And he told me, and there's any left over, I take all of them home. And he's like, I'll eat LeanFeast breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks. So
that sounds like Mike Prater with the press meal.
Exactly. No, but that was kind of cool, right? It was like, this guy's a huge fan of ours. He's a heck of an athlete, and we want to be part of helping him on his journey.
And you mentioned you guys do take 150 meals down. We're waiting there to do interviews a lot with the players, and we see them walking out with the LeanFeast containers. And you just showed me over there. I mean, there's literally 50 meals in the fridge at, say, BSU basketball, and you're getting their basketball meals are getting ready to go out as well. So you've got the NIL deals with Tyson Degenhart, right, and Brooke, and then also, as you say, with Ahmed, but also and Ashton Genty as well. But then the whole teams themselves, your servants. I mean, all it took was I don't know if it was David Moats or one person kind of have that first meal, and it's quickly spreading. And it wouldn't shock me if you're going to have the soccer, volleyball, every other team here pretty soon. I mean, it's quick, the convenient of it. You mentioned the healthiness part, but for anyone on the go, whether it's an athlete or whether it's someone in their office, I mean, 2 minutes in the microwave, you can't beat it.
No, yeah, and I just met Justin, the softball coach, the other day. He just had a new baby, so he's been in here a few times buying meals for him and his wife just to make their lives easier. So we're working on
Bowie Blue,
getting the
13 days old. Bowie Blue,
the softball team fed
there you go.
This year as well. But yeah, we like to say that it's faster than fast food. It's way better for you. We do have cold meals too. So if you are on the go or like for the softball team, we're talking about making cold wraps just because they're not going to be able to heat them up in between games and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we've got it all, and the food tastes fantastic, and it's got a healthy twist on it.
It does. And I just had, this is actually, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but it was the first time I had tried your breakfast earlier today. And you got a full breakfast. And the thing that I like about it, Mike, is all the different diets that you're on. I'm doing the keto, or getting back on it, I should say. But that's an option with the cauliflower rice and some of the stuff you have there. And then if you have other high protein, high whatever you want, I mean, you can you can get whatever you want. You can get however much of it you want, and it's fully customizable. And as you told me, and now we're on the delivery service, so regular order, Mike. But I mean, there's now that they deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley, there's literally no excuse to not eat healthy.
Yeah, and I love that fact. And I'm kind of I get rid of the carb one, because you have a carb station and then a veggie station and the protein station. Load me up with the chicken, the beef, and the shrimp. I'm a double veg guy, and you guys let us do that. You guys keep it flexible. So I'm going to pass on the cauliflower rice and maybe go with some broccoli over here and some avocado, or not some avocado, but some, maybe some green zucchini over here, and double up on the vegetables. And that helps me. I like the fact that you give us a chance to do the variety.
Yeah, we'll let you do basically anything you want.
That's good. That's good money.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, double veggie, double carb, any protein quantity you want, any crazy combination you can come up with. We've actually built a bunch of new chef-inspired meals as of late that are becoming super popular. A Korean beef bowl, bang salmon shrimp bowl. We got a bunch of awesome new sauces that are crazy good. Burger bowl, shepherd's pie. So we're just making it easier to eat healthier. And, it's been a fun journey. We've been here for almost 3 years, and we're looking forward to a bright future.
And the response obviously has been really good from Boise State, and you're continuing to build this relationship. But ultimately, your goal is to one day just take over the entire damn kingdom, isn't it?
I mean, we'd love to feed every single team. I think we're a pretty darn good fit. But yeah, I mean, they've been really easy to work with, and we try to be as flexible as possible. Sometimes I'll get a text message from Sam Wade at 9 a.m. that says, "Hey, can we get 50 meals at 11?" And we're like, "Oh man, let's get to work."
Go.
But yeah, we're happy to do it, and it's a fun part of the journey.
It's a lot of fun. No, it's great, man. I'm really excited. I'm really thankful that we connected with you and we're able to get this going. We've only been on the golf course one time, Mike Prater, and that was kind of when we finalized the deal. But after 9 holes, he said it was a family matter. I'm not sure if I was that bad of a golfer or not that much fun to hang out with or what, but we got to get back out there pretty soon.
Oh yeah, we got to get back out there.
Although unfortunately, Mike, we're a little busy now. This might not be the best time of year to try to play some golf.
It's a little hot right now too.
Yes. Exactly.
So again, you can order online, LeanFeastMeridian.com, and again, this is the same food that is literally fueling your favorite football and basketball players. You can come right in here and get. I love that it's ironically right next to a Five Guys. It's Eagle Road. What's the exact address?
2830 North Eagle Road. We're about a block from the village. You stick an Eagle. We're in the Trader Joe's parking lot out in the corner.
Right across from Serve Pro, the great bowl game sponsor from the canceled First Responder Bowl.
That's right.
Right across the street there. But you're open. You're closed on Sundays, right?
We're closed on Saturday.
Oh, Saturdays. Okay.
So open every day, 9 to 7 on the weekdays and 10 to 4 on Sunday.
See, and I like that because you come in on Sunday and you load up for the week, right? I mean, I don't want to deal with it on Monday morning. I want to wake up Monday morning and I want to have my 5 prepackaged meals in the fridge and ready to go. I love the fact that you guys are open on Sundays.
Yeah, a lot of our customers order for the week. The meals are good in your fridge for 5 days and they microwave in 2 minutes. So we see a ton of orders on Sundays and Mondays for pickup and delivery just to make everyone's life easier during the week. So that's how we do it.
Yeah, you literally order. Our order comes Monday around 11 a.m. and it's good. We get 10 meals, 5 for each of my wife and I, and we get lunch pretty much all week. We love it. It's great. And again, the convenience of it, the easiness of it. And there's probably a couple hundred meals in the fridge right there. People coming to pick up. So final question for you. How are you feeling about football season here? I mean, basketball season. I mean, it's been a fun couple of years in Boise State athletics, and obviously a lot of excitement this year.
We're pumped. I mean, we're really excited to see what the football team and basketball team have to do this year. I'm excited to watch Ashton and Ahmed, new quarterback. So, should be fun. And then the basketball team, couple awesome transfers, 7-footer. That'll be pretty exciting. Can't wait to get out to a couple games.
Well, if you're feeding the offensive star and the defensive star, if this football team is good, we're going to give you credit. If not, can I come in and talk to you for maybe one of those columns I'm going to write for BJ?
Yeah. Whatever you want, we'll take care of you. Hopefully they're eating LeanFeast the night before and in the morning of.
Nice.
Appreciate it, man. Dave and his staff do a tremendous job here at LeanFeast. Appreciate them for having us out. And again, it's a lot of fun here and just a fun environment to come in. And again, all kinds of I love the seasonings too. All the seasonings you guys have for the grill and things that you can, those are very affordable, like $6-7 for a thing. And then I love the Blazing Heat and some of the other ones you guys have there. The what's the seafood one called? Hooked. There you go. See, I know what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Appreciate it, Dave. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, we'll wrap up the show in a few minutes with some final thoughts on the football team. But first, Lithia Ford of Boise, LithiaFordBoise.com. And again, they've got the NIL deals as well with some of your favorite football players. So if you're looking to get a new car or truck, make sure you check out Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com. You're looking for some food and you're looking for a job, more importantly, check out TacoBellWorks.com. If you're looking for a job, they are hiring and they would love to have you join their team. So again, they're giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to the student athlete scholarships for the men's and women's basketball teams. You can get more information at TacoBellWorks.com. You can apply for a job as well. And great promotional opportunities, career opportunities. You get free food while you work. You get a lot of great benefits and stuff, including half your wages the very next day after your shift. So if you're looking for a new job, check out our friends over at Taco Bell. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorange.store.com. They've got the Heisman shirts. The new jerseys are in, Mike Prater. They got all the bumper stickers, car flags, logo golf balls, coaches sideline apparel. You name it, they got it at the Blue and Orange Store. I know there's multiple stores you can go to get your Boise State gear, but if you want the biggest selection, the most comprehensive selection, you want to help a guy like Travis Hawks who's doing a lot, to return the favor to Boise State in terms of NIL deals and helping out with the basketball program and stuff, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange Store, second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall next to Pro Image, or you can go to the top level there at Pro Image or next to Pro Image, or go online at theblueandorangestore.com. And the Transportation Compliance Service, Jeff Miner and Company. It's a local company based here in the Treasure Valley. They help folks register to become truck drivers all over the world. So transcomservice.com. Jason Witten's RV, Mike Prater, was signed up through Transportation Compliance Service. I know they got some wrappers on there for their tour buses. So
nice.
Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out if you're looking into getting into the trucking industry and get the right permits and things. Transcomservice.com. And I know this is right up Mike Prater's alley. Circa Sports, Circa Resort and Casino. We're going down in a couple of weeks for contest weekend. Again, it's $1,000 entry fee, but you can get a couple buddies together and split the cost, and it's much more affordable. You got a chance to win $10 million in their Survivor pool, $6 million in the Circa Millions, and again, $16 million in guaranteed prizes. And if you use our proxy, Tom Carroll, you get you can play from anywhere in the world. Folks always ask me, there's no gambling allowed in Idaho. Well, all you got to do is sign up in Las Vegas, come down with us to contest weekend. There's some open bar events and parties with the owners and the group there, or give me your money. That might be dangerous, Mike Prater. Head down to Las Vegas. I'll double it up first at the roulette wheel. Then I'll go enter your contest for you. Tom Carroll is your proxy, and then basically how it works is every week on like Thursday or Friday, you fill out like a Google Sheets form, and then Tom literally and his staff go into the casino and make the picks for you. It's how people play all over the world, so it's 100% legal. And again, as someone that has played both these contests, it makes waking up on a Sunday morning very exciting to have probably not a real chance, but at least be alive for a chance for, $10 million in the Survivor and stuff. And it made football a lot of fun last fall. So if you're interested, make sure you check it out. Again, Circa Sports. And again, I can help you out. And Prater, we're actually trying, we got to finalize this if we can, but I know we're doing the BNN trip down for the football game in October. I know you guys would love to come down and join in on that as well.
Vegas Friday night?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Vegas Friday night, that's all you need to say. So throw in a Boise State football game in an NFL stadium against a team that I think is going to be the number 2 team again. I'm predicting Boise State UNLV in the Mountain West Championship game. We'll see how that plays out, and very excited. So everybody's jumping into camp this week. All the teams, there was some 3 Mountain West teams last week did camp because they're going to play 0 week, and everybody else is diving in this week. So it's literally football season from coast to coast right now.
Sam on here says, going to order me some LeanFeast now. So there you go, Dave. Got at least one order coming in for you from Sam. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. Again, LeanFeastMeridian.com. There are a couple of comments on here, Mike Prater, about the basketball schedule. I do want to hit on that real quick. That is true. That's been in the works, been pretty much finalized for about a month now. They're just trying to get St. Mary's to sign the contract, but back-to-back years they're going to play. I thought they might want to go to Idaho Falls again. I wasn't sure St. Mary's would want to come back there again because it obviously was a pro BSU crowd and Boise State won the game.
Yep.
But the way it works with the neutral site stuff, I know there's a lot of minutia in there and stuff, but essentially you have 20 more spots to play with in the net if you're a Boise State for that to count as a quad 1 game. They only have to be top 50 instead of top 30. So it's a neutral site. Those neutral site games are becoming more and more possible, and that's frankly why it hasn't been announced yet, but why Boise State's going to be playing Washington State again at the downtown arena, not at Extra Mile Arena, because that technically, even though it's in Boise, counts as a neutral site game, and that gives them 20 more spots to play with in the net rankings. So, but that was a good game last year. It was the night before the football championship, but Boise State basketball, St. Mary's, the date is December 14th. So this year there should be no conflict with the football schedule this year. December 14th, Boise State, St. Mary's, that is happening. I can confirm John Rothstein's report. I don't know if it's officially been signed, but it's been going on for a while, and that is going to happen. But Mike, today, again, 11:30, we'll have it live on Bronco Nation News. Make sure you're subscribing to that YouTube channel. Spencer Danielson, 11:30. Is there anything Spencer Danielson didn't say when we talked to him down in Vegas that needs to be answered today?
Woo, baby. No, I think we got this guy covered. Again, I'm more interested. I can't wait for him to say, and he's going to cover a lot of areas, mostly just roster maintenance, making sure everybody's here, everybody's on and I fully expect a pretty close, clean bill of health. I don't expect too many names in terms of easing back in, and if everybody stays healthy, I think maybe by halfway through camp, everybody on this football team can be 100% healthy. So little roster maintenance, little health update, and then dive into the position coaches. Dirk Cutter, get off the golf course. I need 5 minutes of your time. Let's talk quarterbacks.
I wish I mean, I guess we love it, right? We just dive in, and it is what it is. But just as I said, it almost. I just wonder if it's going to get if there's any fans or media or anyone that at some point is just going to get fatigued talking about the quarterbacks. I mean, it is going to be the main story literally every day until they pick a starter, and then it won't end there.
That's the part that scares everybody. I don't think anybody's going to worry about quarterback palooza for the next 30 days in August. But if Maddox Madsen starts, or if Malachi Nelson starts and struggles or whatever, and all of a sudden we going back and forth, I mean, is the guy that's going to start against Georgia Southern the same guy that's also going to finish Oregon? That's a tough task for two guys, and I'm worried that if that first time a quarterback comes in, whether it's Dirk Cutter playing the gut instinct game or whether something's going on, just the thought and the visuals of a quarterback marching onto the football field. Here comes quarterback palooza again. Boise State cannot go through that. I know it's just more of a fan angst thing, and it's certainly a coaching angst thing as well. You need to have more of an efficient football team. The quarterback thing, let us get weird for the next 30 days, but by the time 31st rolls around, they better be in good shape.
And we're fully expecting today that Dirk Cutter and Spencer Danielson are going to continue with what they've been saying, that Maddox Madsen will start atop the seating chart.
Probably. I mean, we'll certainly ask that question, but I can't imagine anything over the summer changed all that. Maddox Madsen's going to rule the summer. I'm sure Malachi Nelson's had a great summer. Maddox is 100% healthy now. Maybe that's one place where we start. Is there going to be any limitations with him whatsoever? I fully expect him to be 100%. Whether he's wearing a knee brace or not, I don't know. And frankly, it doesn't really matter because I think he's going to be just fine.
Well, we appreciate you, Mike, for coming over here this morning, and for Bob and JP and Johnny for moving the meeting around, because you might be a few minutes late. 11:30, Spencer Danielson is coming up right here live on Bronco Nation News. We'll have an assistant coach interviews, and then you guys 3 to 6 today. You may not even have to talk very much. Just play. You got plenty of interviews to play.
We got plenty of feedback. You're going to hear from lots of coaches today. You're going to hear us break it down, analyze it, and get after it pretty hard. So looking forward to that.
3 to 6 today, Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK 95.3 FM, 1350 AM. Make sure you're listening to Prater and Johnny and JP, Bob, the whole crew, and I'm really excited about our next 5 months here, teaming up with BNN and KTIK, and I think it's become pretty evident, as I said before. You throw in KTVB in terms of the spots to go to get your Boise State coverage, and I think that's only going to become more obvious this fall.
It's the only media outlets in this market that matter anymore, and I say that sadly, but KTIK, Bronco Nation News, what Jay's doing over at KTVB, it's become that kind of a market, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but here we are, and we're about 100 minutes away from Spencer Danielson's press conference. I need to start fueling. Can I go
get a meal?
Can I go load up?
I think we owe you a couple of meals for sure. We'll take care of you. But yeah, appreciate everybody for coming by. Go order some LeanFeast. Tell them you heard about it on Bronco Nation News. Maybe they'll hook you up with some sort of deal. But again, 11:30. Come back to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that so we can hit our 5,000 mark. And as we said, we'll have Spencer Danielson live. Kind of a weird no availability tomorrow to kind of catch our breath and recharge one final time, and then 9:50 on Wednesday morning they'll hit the practice field for practice number 1. So congratulations, guys. You made it. Boise State football season. The summer is over. We'll see you at 11:30 with Spencer Danielson from LeanFeast Meridian. Again, LeanFeastMeridian.com right here in Meridian at Eagle Road and U-Stick Road. Come try some meals. Highly recommend it. We appreciate, again, Dave and his staff, and had some fun out here, and look to come back here again real soon. So have a great rest of your day. We'll see you at 11:30. We'll know you'll be listening at 3 o'clock to Idaho Sports Talk, and we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live here at Bronco Nation News.